Alright guys, I'm back for a review. I worked my way, in between watching all these Christmas horror movies, I worked my way through the Arrow release of The Mutilator, 1983 slasher classic, directed by Buddy Cooper. Produced, directed, and written, by Buddy Cooper. Here's the slipcover. This thing is just, it'll take you days to work your way through this film and all the special features. Here's the, it's a DVD and Blu-ray. You also have a outstanding, as always with Arrow, you've got an outstanding booklet that covers pretty much all aspects of the film. And you have a lobby card. And then you've got, let's check out this reversible artwork. That's the alternative title. When it first came out, was first put out, it was called Fall Break. And man, let me tell you something. If you haven't seen this film and you hear that song in the opening credits, God, it's so bad it's good, and it will not get out of your brain. You just start humming it and singing it. We're going on a fall break. Anyway, I think the distributors, as I understand it from listening to the commentaries and interviews, Buddy Cooper hired an advertising firm that came up with the change in the title and the artwork that basically, this is what sold the movie. By sword, by pick, by axe, bye-bye, The Mutilator. This film was shot in close to where one state away from where I grew up, in Moorhead, North Carolina, on the beaches, and in Atlantic City. Apparently, Buddy Cooper had, from his legal practice, built up about $96,000, and he was desperate to be a movie maker. And so he followed his dream and put everything into this movie. But unfortunately, I think he lost it all. I think he went negative. The film was very graphic, and he couldn't get it rated without exercising a lot of the setup pieces and the gore, which was really what was the feature of the film, was the gore setup pieces and the kills. And so I don't think he maybe has made his money back plus some with tax credits, but he said even with the tax credits he probably lost a bunch of money on this. As production was going on, he had many sleepless nights and those type of things. But you know, he followed his dream and did what he had to do, and he produced a really outstanding slasher film, a real classic. Who would have thunk it back in the early 80s? But there was so many other slasher films. I mean, every week a slasher film came out, but this one, I think, stands out in a lot of respects. It's got some memorable kills. The outboard motor kill, if you haven't seen it, I mean, the outboard motor kill with the guy going, I mean, that's just, I mean, I think everybody that follows horror films or slasher films has seen that outboard motor kill. It's a gruesome film. You got a scene where the guy uses the fish hook, goes through the woman's genitals with it. That apparently did the movie in, I think, if it ever had a shot of getting a rating back in the 80s. But you know, the ratings board, I think, back in the early 80s, after Friday the 13th and some of these other films came out, or Silent Night, Deadly Night, I think they were very punitive on all the films that came after that. And this is one of those films I think unfortunately suffered the censors. But it's a great fun film. And all the actors, this was kind of their first shot at acting, or very early in their careers. They did a great job. And I think Buddy Cooper did a great job. I mean, to think that he produced it, directed it, wrote it, put all his money into it, that's a huge weight on one person's shoulders. And to oversee the production and as well as he did in terms of directing it without any experiencing, he put the crew together. And that's talked about ad nauseum in the film and the audio commentaries and the behind the scenes featurettes, how just how well he planned this out is a real testament to the guy. And the film is interesting and fun movie. I mean, the kills are incredible. You've got the killer just decapitating people and eviscerating their bodies, and then hoisting them up on a pegboard. You got just a crazy ending to this thing where the killer basically gets backed up by a car into a wall and is sliced in half, and he's kind of laying there on the ground in half, but he still has enough left in him to battle axe some guy's leg off. I mean, it's just a crazy, outlandish film, and everyone in the film says the film was basically there to set up all these killing set pieces, and it really pays off. The Arrow release is just jam packed, man, with three commentary tracks, a vintage behind the scenes, a lot of behind the scenes featurettes that were done at the time of the filming. You got pictures, postcards, and lobby cards. That I guess Buddy Cooper did a really good job of keeping a rundown of this film production, because it's all in here. You know, I guess the lawyer type A in him, he did not throw away anything related to this film, including some of the lead actress's jeans he kept and showed those off. You've got interviews with the guy that wrote the song Fall Break, who I really would like to strangle because I can't get the damn song out of my head. You've got an interview with the special effects guy. Basically, Buddy Cooper ran an ad and found some guys that were kind of beginning their careers out in L.A. and flew them out to North Carolina to do the film. And so he's interviewed. Of course, you've got the guy that's the Mutilator. He's interviewed. You've got pretty much everybody in the film. What's interesting about the Mutilator is that everybody involved in the film said nothing but praise and wonderful things about the production and how memorable and fun it was. And they all, I think it speaks to that they all, pretty much all of them, came back whenever this was done and gave interviews and talked about the film, which is rare. You usually can't find everyone that was involved in the film, but it seems like everyone that was involved in this, Arrow somehow dug up and managed to interview. You've got, well, it just goes on and on. You've got screen tests. You've got alternate opening titles, trailers, TV spots, the Fall Break theme song. You got the Fall Break theme song, both the original song and an instrumental version if you just can't get enough of the tune. The restoration is a 2K restoration of the unrated version, of course. And then you've got a mono track, which was fine. I mean, the picture's pristine. The audio doesn't, the dialogue doesn't compete with the music. It's well done in all respects. This is a 10 out of 10 release. If you don't have this, you just got to go get it. I mean, even if you're not a huge slasher film, this is a kind of a must-have in the collection, I believe. So with that, I will wrap up my review of the Mutilator. I highly recommend it. Great stuff. And I appreciate you watching this review. Thank you much.